Do you suffer with under eye bags, puffiness and dark circles? Well, in today's video, we're going to do a great lymphatic drainage flush, if you like, by moving toxins and waste within the lymph very close to the surface of the skin into the body ready for elimination. So what we're going to do first is start off with clean skin and obviously clean fingers. Now you will need a little bit of slip and glide, so you can use an eye cream, but I'm going to be using a facial oil. So just applying just a couple of drops to the fingers. Now when I apply any facial oil or any product near the eyes, when it comes to under the eye, you just want to work where the bone is, because whatever we do apply, it's going to act like almost blotting drawing paper and work up within the eye. So just placing the product under the eyes, side of the temples, side of the ears, and then just down by the side of the neck to the collarbone. So before we absolutely start onto the eyes, we want to actually literally open everything up lymphatically wise. So coming to our collarbone, just above we have some indentations. And if you just give those a few gentle presses. Just getting everything opening up, all the channels. And then with the flat of the hand coming up from the neck, along the jawline where we have plenty of lymph nodes, you just want to come behind and in front of the ear and just gently glide down either side, and then glide down the big SCM muscle down to the collarbone. And then on the other side, flat of the hand from the collarbone, lifting upwards, and then coming almost like a scissor shape along the jawline towards the ears, and then in front and behind the ears, just opening up everything ready, and then just coming down the big SCM muscle down to the collarbone, and then taking our hands, placing them literally onto our shoulders, and let's just gently go in a round circular motion backwards first, again opening everything up, keeping everything on the face nice and relaxed, and then just coming forward. And then I always like to finish with a couple of times, just round circulations back with the arms, so then we're resetting the shoulders correctly back into place in its position. So now we've actually opened everything up here. So now we can get on with the eye area. So we're using our ring finger because we have a lighter touch with the ring finger, and the skin around the eyes, particularly under the eyes, is very fine and delicate. So first of all, coming between the eyes, we're just gently going to do a little bit of tapping to get blood flow and circulation. And then just calming down to where the bone is. And then just gently tapping with the ring finger all the way along towards the temples. And let's just do that above the eyebrows. And then just under the eyebrows, further light touch. And then we're going to do this 3 times. So we're now on our second round, really getting everything going here. Remembering to make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then above the eyebrows with the ring finger. And then under the eyebrows. Light, light, light feather. And then last time doing this tapping, again where the bone is. Now when we get to where the pupil is, I'm just going to come down slightly and just do a few extra taps here. This is a great acupressure point. And then again work along the rest of the bone under the eye towards the temples. And then the same with the top. So tapping between the eyebrows, coming along, and then again roughly where the pupil of the eye is, come up and just tap for a few more times here. Another great acupressure point. And then all the way to the temples. And then between the eyes, another great acupressure point. You can actually just use one finger on this. And then just coming under the eyebrows towards the temples. Now then placing our fingers between the eyebrows, we're just gently gliding now in an outwards motion, and we're moving everything out, which is literally the lymph, which is very close to the surface of the skin. So moving toxins and waste within the lymph. So we're pushing everything in an outwards motion here. Nice, light, feather-light touch. And one last time, and then just above the eyebrows. Now you can, then under the eyebrows. Now you can do this morning and night. If you want to spend a little bit more time, you can on a certain area. And then again under the eyes. And then above the eyebrows. Under the eyebrows. And then last time on this section, under the eyebrows, getting really light, delicate touch. Moving all the toxins and waste above the eyebrows. Now once you've done these massages, I'd really recommend having some nice tepid water to really help flush everything out as well, particularly if you're slightly dehydrated. So under the eyebrows again. And then with the hands here, we're just placing them where the bone is. Let's just very gently work in a wave-like motion under the eyes where the bone is, heading towards the temples. And then just above the eyebrows. Again, we can get sort of toxins and waste, particularly if we have salt in our diet, or we've had not a very good night's sleep, or perhaps you've been drinking maybe alcohol or something with lots of sugar, and that can actually make a difference by toxins and waste around the eyes here. Even if you just had a bad night's sleep. So now we're just going up and down again. Nice gliding motion, heading towards the temples. And one last time, under the eyes, above the eyebrows, under the eyebrows. And then coming to the temples here, let's just massage the temples. Again, another great acupressure point. Relaxing the face. Hold a lot of tension in the face. This really calms down the nervous system. You can also take deep belly breaths when you're doing these facial massages, as you actually get blood flow and circulation to the area. So now we're gliding down to the front of the ears where we have plenty of lymph nodes, and then behind the ears where we have plenty of lymph nodes. And then with one hand at a time, flat of the hand for more surface, we're just gliding down the big SCM muscle down to the collarbone. And on the other side, coming all the way down the collarbone. And then from the chin all the way down, again, where we started, almost our beginning position, got those indentations. So if you just give those a few gentle presses, this will release all the toxins and waste we've moved for our lymphatic eye flush into the body, ready for elimination. So please leave a comment down below. Tell me if you found reduced puffiness and also eye bags. And also, if you can do this for 7 days, 14 days, being consistent really does make a difference. Please subscribe, like and share, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye.